All right, forget your sleep supplements, forget your sleep hacks, forget all the tips and tricks you've learned. Today, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things or items I would use if I wanted to massively improve my sleep quality and just how I felt in the mornings. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Chester. I'm an online coach and I'm also a trainee sleep scientist in respiratory and sleep. So today, I'm going to share with you my experience with sleep tools that actually work, okay? And they're proven, backed by science, and physiologically will have an impact. So I'm going to go from the least impactful to the most. So we're going to start with the least impactful, and that is the thing that you see everybody wearing, that I am wearing right now. Blue light blocking glasses. Now, these glasses, what they do is they essentially help to dim blue light, or they block parts of it out. Now, the best thing to do is to avoid screens completely. However, a lot of you probably work on your screens late at night, or you watch screens, or you view screens. Now, if you're someone who is partial to doing this, then getting blue light blocking glasses is beneficial. Why? Because it's going to block some, not all, of that blue light coming in. Now, obviously, the best thing would be to avoid the screen completely. However, if you are going to use a screen, then using these is going to help to dull some of that light and therefore help you to sleep better, right? So if we think about light and what light does, if you view a lot of light, you're going to be alert because your body thinks it's daytime. Now, if it's dark, if there's low light, then your body is going to get tired and sleepy because your brain thinks it's now time to go to bed, right? So when we disrupt this signaling by viewing a lot of artificial bright light right before bed, that is going to impair your sleep, okay? So the best thing for you to do is to not view screens. But if you are, just get some of these. Now, the next, and I have these myself, they are earplugs. So when we go to bed, obviously what you want is a quiet environment. Now, if you're someone who's a light sleeper, you're prone to waking up, having interruptions in the night due to sound, that's an issue, right? So when we think about sleep, sleep is not just one constant thing. You don't just flip a switch and go from awake to sleep. You are asleep and then awake, and then you go through different stages of sleep. Stage 1, stage 2, deep sleep, and REM sleep. So your body needs to cycle through those stages, and it needs to go through light sleep to deep sleep to REM sleep. And if you're getting interrupted in the middle of the night due to sound, then your body's not going to be getting into that deeper REM sleep, because your cycles, you're going to be constantly waking up, going back into light sleep, waking up, going back into light sleep. So I use earplugs because I'm a light sleeper. Now, I just put these bad boys in my ear, and essentially what that does is it just helps to minimize noise to a low level. Now, I can still hear, I just wouldn't be interrupted by any like sounds, just those little sounds, like a little beep or a car driving by outside, those little things that can just disturb you. With these minimize noise enough to where that you're not going to hear those things, but then you will hear like a really loud bang. So if there is an issue going on in your house, obviously you will be safe. However, they just help to reduce the noise that can disrupt you when it doesn't really need to be disrupting you. Now, the thing you need to think about is that these are going to be most beneficial when you first fall off to sleep, because that's when you're in either your awake or your light sleep stages. And when you're in your lighter sleep stages, then you're going to be more prone to awakenings, aka you're going to be more likely to wake up. And it's going to be harder for you to get into deep sleep. Now, when you actually get into deep sleep, you're going to be very hard to wake up. So that's not so much of an issue, but it's massively going to help with your ability to actually fall asleep. And when you're in your light stage of sleep, just to not get woken up and pulled out of those. Now, lastly, the thing that I would suggest is if your room is light or not extremely dark, just get some sort of blackout blind, right? Now, I bought this ages ago, I don't need it anymore, because I've got other ones, but essentially, when we think about creating the best possible environment for sleep, it needs to be dark, it needs to be cool, but dark especially, okay? Having a dark room is the most important thing you can do. It's going to help you fall asleep faster and get deep sleep. So when we think about sleep, when you need to sleep, you need to have a dark room. Why? Because your body can detect when it's light. And if it's light, your body thinks it's time to be awake. It's the daytime. You need a dark room so your body thinks it is night. Now, the darker the room can be, the better. If you have a pitch black room, you will notice a massive difference in how you feel the next morning. You will sleep infinitely better compared to if you're having light coming through the room. Now, If you have some darkness, that's good. And if there's like lamps or light posts outside your room and they're beaming in, that is a massive issue. You need to get on top of that straight away, okay? And honestly, if you could take away anything from this video, it is make your room as dark as you possibly can, okay? I don't say that without like huge merit, okay? Because light is the single biggest physiological factor when it comes to how well you sleep and how well you feel alert. So as well, like I've got a lamp shining at me right now. If I have a lamp in my eyes first thing in the morning, or better yet, sunlight, that's gonna help me to feel awake. And then if my room is really, really dark in the night, that's gonna help me fall asleep massively. So those are 3 things that you need to do to help with your ability to get better quality sleep, fall asleep faster, and ultimately feel more refreshed in the mornings and more focused when you're going about your day. You will perform better by using these things. So these things will have a massive return on investment, and they're very, very cheap, right? You don't have to go out and buy a cooling mattress. You don't have to go out and buy like a sad lamp. All you need is some blue light blocking glasses, £20, and this is the least important thing. Some blackout blinds, £10, and then the earplugs, I think they were like, yeah, £20. But okay, yeah, that's a financial investment because it's an investment in your ability to perform the next day. Now, if you buy 1 or 2 of these things, right, and you use them and you feel better in the morning, and therefore you go to work, you show up better, you put in more effort, and then you go about your day to day and you're already feeling better in that as well. So it applies to not only work and your ability to perform at a high level and stand out because of your competence, but also when you outside of work, right? So if you work out, you're going to be able to put more effort in, you're going to feel better for it, you're going to get better outcomes in how you look and how you feel. When you go back and you're with your family, okay, we're going to have more time and energy to spend with them and actually be present because your quality in the night of your sleep was better. So the next day, your energy and your focus and your performance are at another level. So compare that to dragging your feet throughout the day. Which person is the person that you want to be, right? So those are the 3 things that I would advise that you get if you want to improve your sleep. Now, if you want to look and see how your sleep is actually being affected by different things in the day, then I made a custom GPT that essentially you ask it how it works, right? And it will tell you, give it some information. Give it as much information as you can. It will then give you a score out of 100 of how good your sleep actually is. And more importantly, it will give you different strategies and steps on how you can improve that score, therefore get a higher score out of 100. The closer you are to 100, the better your sleep is. The better your sleep is, the better you're going to feel the next day. So that's going to be in the link in this video. If you want it, go and get it completely free. Grab that, just my treat to you. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.